All right, hello everybody. The time is 7:47 p.m. It is April 8th. Hopefully you all are doing well. And I'm here to bring an update regarding the potential for the severe weather threat over the next few days. I was talking about it before, and it is materialized, but it is more off to the west. So we're going to see if it will possibly shift east. That's going to come with new model runs. The SPC has not issued a severe weather potential eastward in the Great Lakes region as of yet, but it is just off to the west, meaning we could see some of the remnants of whatever goes on off to the west. So we are going to get into all of that, and we are going to delve into the ingredients that are putting this severe weather potential together in the plains. Alrighty, so before we get to that, make sure to check out all of our different platforms that we have. We have Instagram, True Social, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I mean, you're probably watching this on YouTube right now. If you are watching on desktop, make sure to scan that QR code. That way you'll get connected to our website. And we are here just for the weather. That's it. All right. So this is what we're all about. Just the weather that is going on across the area. All right. Let's get into it right now with the latest from the SPC. So the Storm Prediction Center has put out this risk right here for Monday. Right now it's off to the west. This includes places such as southwest Missouri, western Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma, northern parts of northern Texas. This is a potential for all severe hazards. Pretty much every day that they have issued a severe weather potential over the next few days has all severe hazards possible. It is going to be the same system that's bringing these severe weather events across the United States over the next few days. So this is day 4, Monday. On Tuesday, this is what we're seeing. It expands quite a bit. We got a broad area of severe weather that we're kind of dealing with this system. So Tuesday, you've got pretty much this entire region under the gun. Once again, it's going to be hitting you multiple times if you live out in the plains region. And then Wednesday, it starts to really show that broadening out towards the east. It looks like Indiana might be the best target for seeing any thunderstorms in the Great Lakes region. So we'll see what they do with regards to issuing potential severe weather risks over the next couple of days. Possibly, potentially, maybe some out of the Great Lakes region later on Thursday. Now, I'm looking at the models. It looks like a marginal severe risk, not really anything too significant up in the Great Lakes region, which may be good news. So that's not really right now. We're not super concerned about severe weather. We got to just pay attention to how the models take this, to where the models take this system later on over the next several days. We know for a fact that later on this week, with this massive low pressure system that's moving in, it's going to get pretty wild with the temperatures. Temperatures are going to spike up back towards 70, something that you're probably going to welcome next week. And that heat is also going to help us in fueling some of these thunderstorms as well. But not just the heat, there's more ingredients that are coming into play. Right now, however, we are looking at, hang on one second. We are looking at this right now. This is the current HREF from the National Weather Service, the low pressure system that's sitting right over our area right here, this deep trough that's really bringing us those cooler temperatures in the 30s as of right now outside. This thing is just a slow mover, bringing a wintry mix, possibly some thunder snow in some spots. You might have seen a rumble of thunder along with the wintry mix that you have had. This is what's really moving through our area over the next few days. So this is a very massive low pressure system. And on the backside, you have that next low pressure system that's going to materialize later on and bring more potential for thunderstorms along with it. So let's move into the models to see what the potential will be for our area. Once it renders real quick. All right, pivotal weather once again. Always going to pivotal weather. I'm using the Euro model first. A lot of people are referring to the Euro model for the severe weather potential. There's a lot of model variability right now. One model is saying that the storms are going to come a day earlier than the other. So we're going to bring about and look at both the models I'm paying attention to right now, the GFS, ECMWF, what the variability is, and where the storms may fire over the next week. All right, so this is Friday. This is what we have right now. Scattered rain showers, some wintry mix in some spots as well, depending where you get that nice cold northern air on the west side of the low pressure system. Very big low pressure system making its way off to the east right now. Progressing eastward, see that trough starting to finally lose its grip across the Great Lakes region. You got that low that's sitting in Kansas, and you got the ridge that's building in. Looks like you have some initial thunderstorm development on Monday. This is Monday morning, 7 a.m. Initial thunderstorm activity may develop in parts of northern Missouri based on this model. Again, models are likely to change, but looks like you got some initial development given the hot and humid air mass this is going to be with the Gulf of Mexico. And then you see that deep low pressure system off to the west right there. This is what's going to be our storm maker. This looks like, based on the ECMWF, it looks like we may just get multiple clusters of showers and thunderstorms moving through parts of the Great Lakes region over the next several days. It is going to be a rainy week next week. We've really seen that quite a bit all week last week too, so we're pretty used to it. April showers bring May flowers. That's usually the quote people go to. So progressing eastward, you see that line starting to develop early Tuesday evening, Tuesday around 7 p.m. And then now as we approach Wednesday, looks like clusters of light rain showers, isolated thunderstorms moving through. Then you get that line of strong to severe thunderstorms that could move through. Look how deep that low pressure system is. 981 millibars is a very low system. Right now the pressure at my place is 998, giving you an idea of how strong low pressure system is coming in next week. You got a nice cold front. You can easily see where the cold front is right there, moving off to the east-northeast. These areas are going to see multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms. Likely some of them will be severe, packing a punch, maybe an isolated tornado in some spots. As they move eastward, models kind of putting out, okay, some of them might stick together until we get to the Great Lakes region, and then they may start to weaken as they approach the lake. It looks like the potential for the line to get ahead of the shear or the mid-layer winds that are going to be fueling these storms. Those storms are going to move away from them, and that's what's going to cause them to start weakening. There's going to be some instability in the atmosphere across the southern portion of the Great Lakes region. It's not really going to reach that far north either. That's going to have an influence on our severe weather activity as well. Based on the current models, that's what they're saying. So, again, we'll see what the models do once we get the NAM and HRR running in such a way. After this system moves through, we got a nice trough. Well, not so nice trough coming back in, cooling things down once again. Not as cold as we were previously, but it may stay cold for a little bit in some regions. So then we get to the long range, and we wait not to say anything about the long range models. So we do know there is something coming for next week across the plains, especially in the Great Lakes region. We'll see the remnants of that most likely based on what is currently being seen. All right, we're going to go to the GFS model, take a look at some more severe weather ingredients. Again, ECMWF and the GFS may not agree fully with each other, but they do provide some insight as to how these storms could potentially develop. All right, let's go into the more regional map for the ECMWF. I forgot I was going to show this as well. ECMWF showing again the regional map. If we look here, got that cluster of smaller thunderstorms moving in from Missouri up to Michigan on Monday and Tuesday. And then more thunderstorms potential on Tuesday. And then Wednesday is the big day for thunderstorm development. Looks like you may get some storms firing up along that warm front as well, associated with the low pressure system. As it progresses eastward, as it progresses eastward, my web page has sort of frozen on me. So let's close these out, see if that speeds it up. But as we move into Wednesday evening into Thursday, you see that cluster of thunderstorms associated with the low. Those are going to start to lift off towards our region. Some of these will likely be supercells, but maybe given the current scenario that we have for severe weather. Moving off to the east, and then on the backside we have that trough with that low moving in behind it. You may even see some snow in parts of the Upper Peninsula as it moves through, so that should be interesting. Alrighty, let's look at the parameters that are putting this severe weather threat together. So right now you're looking at the 500 millibar winds. These are winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere. You can really see, let's go back to when the storms initially begin to fire up. You can kind of see that those nice upper level winds that are really surging in from that trough, those winds are going to really fuel the potential for severe weather development across parts of the plains into the Great Lakes region. It looks like, given the past models that have gone through, it looks like it's not going to be as strong as was originally projected by the GFS before. So that might be some positive news in regards to the severe weather potential, but it does look like it does take a stab at Wisconsin, Illinois, those areas. And again, there's still enough upper level winds to really show potential for some stronger thunderstorms connected with those winds. Let's go to the 850 millibar, those low level winds. We look at low level winds to see an increase in tornado potential. So low level winds really tend to just stay right behind the main line of activity, it looks like, right in front of that cold front. It looks like they could be pretty some decent enough to produce some isolated tornado development. So in Ohio, it looks like you got some intense ones, but the storm won't be there just yet to get fuel from those low-level winds. Mid-level, let's take a look at the mid-level winds. Mid-level winds are there for some severe weather. I guess that's the thing that we've been paying attention to. The mid-level winds in Missouri, Oklahoma. This is what is a primary fuel for our severe weather potential. But not just the mid-level, also the possibility of seeing some instability in the atmosphere. Remember, we measure instability with sunlight and also the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. Let's take a look at the CAPE values for this system that's going to be moving through the area. Let's go to a more... So the CAPE levels are going to remain down to the south once again, eastern Missouri, but it looks like it could reach up into parts of the southern Great Lakes region especially, which is what we're going to have to keep an eye on. And then parts of Louisiana, southern Arkansas really have the strongest CAPE, but again, those Gulf winds in the Gulf of Mexico can really fuel the potential for some severe weather that could be taking place. All right, so let's get some model soundings from this given model here, the GFS model. We're going to pull it up for southern Indiana just to see what it looks like. The soundings do indicate a marginal tornado threat. You got that hodograph showing that a little curve on the hodograph that kind of indicates those that signal for a possible tornado. The cloud height is pretty low. LCL height is getting kind of low down there. 0 kilometers of surface. And you see the temperatures in parts of the atmosphere as well. Looks like that supercell potential is there. So in parts of southern Indiana, we might see a severe risk. Southern lower Michigan, southwestern, really not looking at a really strong severe weather potential, but marginally severe weather does look possible with the coming systems that we will see. Marginal severe, yeah, not really anything too significant, but maybe prompting some severe thunderstorm, pop-up severe thunderstorms later in the evening on Wednesday. So that's going to be something we want to keep an eye on as well. This gives a more regional view of the CAPE, or the measure of instability, as well. So really the combination of the mid-level winds and the instability is what's fueling this severe weather potential. And depending on how the winds in all the different levels of the atmosphere play out, could change. Supercell composite, taking a look at the potential for supercells, not super high in a lot of different places. Southern Indiana, really not that high. Southwestern Michigan, low once again. So just something that could pop up some severe weather potential for the Great Lakes region. Not really looking at anything super significant for that area. Looks like the significant portion of the severe weather event is going to stay off to the west at this current time. But again, as the models change, I'm going to continue to provide updates about everything that's going to be taking place. Check out the SPC for the latest updates. They have the official updates. I'm just here giving you models. So just take a look at them, and hopefully this video was helpful to you in getting some of that information out there. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Stay tuned on all of our social media locations for later updates. I do plan on potentially, if this setup continues to crop up and materialize more for the Great Lakes region, I do plan on chasing it. So hopefully we will see how that goes down as well. All right, so hopefully this video was informational. Enjoy the rest of your evening and stay informed about what's coming.